For this mental prepisode, we're going to talk about developing a mantra. Now, this particular tool set and technique was brought to us throughout the 30-day segment of this recording of this podcast. We had a special guest on my birthday. Felipe jumped in and did an interview, very interesting interview. He's one of my best friends, personal friends throughout life, and he's had his own struggle with smoking and nicotine, and his has been a little bit different. I did not grow up in a household where either parents were currently smoking. They were both ex-smokers, but they had completed and kicked that habit well before I came into the picture. Felipe had a little bit different of a scenario growing up. Both of his parents were smokers, and he also had different techniques and tools that he came up with to help him combat his addiction and put it down. And we get into a pretty interesting discussion. So if you make it far along enough in our quitting smoking journey, you'll be treated to that particular episode. But for now, I'm going to add a little segment, a little clip of what we talked about in that particular conversation and interview that had to go over the mantras. And I wrote a little something leading up to that, so I'll read that to you now, and then I'll play that segment, and then we'll continue to the next prepisode. So for the 30 days leading up to your quit date, that's a perfect time to develop a personal mantra. Imagine the benefits you are most looking forward to: not smelling like smoke, being able to whiten your teeth without having it completely reversed immediately by still smoking, not having a smoker's cough. That's pretty sweet, actually. You hear those people that have that cough, and you know that they're smoking. They're probably not going to stop smoking. And the crazy thing is the turnaround time to end that cough isn't very long, and that cough can dissipate from somebody pretty rapidly. Now, I'm not from the medical community. I cannot completely speak for how the bronchial tubes adjust to that, and whether or not there are certain times when you reach like emphysema levels of illness from your addiction, whether or not that cough will go away. But I can tell you that for me personally, my smoker's cough dissipated by the end of like the third or fourth day. There was a little bit of raspiness, and you'll hear that throughout the episodes, but for the most part cleared up pretty quickly, and it was nice. So other benefits could be not spitting as much. I constantly had to cough up stuff. Phlegm was coming up every day. That goes away rather quickly. I will say the first couple days it gets worse with the spitting, just because your lungs are pushing all these things, all this stuff out of it. But then you hit this point where it's clean and clear and you feel great. So having more money to build a savings with is one of the big things that we talk about here in Quit Rich. We talk about how much our addictions are actually costing us financially. And, for a smoker, real quick, a smoker from the age of 18 to the age of 67, when they can retire with full Social Security benefits, that person over that 49-year period is going to put about the equivalent of a mortgage into smoking if they're smoking a pack a day and paying about $8 a pack of cigarettes. And if you apply compound interest to that, and they were investing that money rather than just stuffing it in a mattress somewhere, and they're getting an 8% annual return, that 8% annual return would lead them over 49 years to, I think it's like $1.9 million, something like that. It's crazy. Check quitrich.com, check our compound interest calculator as well as our habit calculator to see how much your specific addiction costs are really costing you financially. And another thing is becoming a non-smoker can be something that you're looking forward to. So all these different things you can start creating a mantra for, and you can start in your days leading up to your quit date, imagining yourself already having these benefits. That's wonderful, because when you actually start accruing those benefits, it makes you that more of, oh, I achieved my dream. This is what I wanted in my life, and here I am with it. and I was able to accomplish that. You should relish that accomplishment. If you make it a week into no smoking and no nicotine, and you all of a sudden can breathe deeper, that is a victory point. Celebrate that. Without further ado, here's a snippet of my interview with Beat Felipe.
A month before I quit smoking, I picked a quit date, which was the day after my birthday, actually. And for the month leading up to it, I gave myself like a mantra. Your brain is most susceptible to information and learning right when you wake up and right before you go to bed. So I would use this mantra that, and you can, it's kind of a fill in the blank thing. Anyone can do it. And it goes like this. So it's blank. So it's blank is, it's for me, it was March 27th. It's March 27th. So you say a date and you visualize that day. It's March 27th and I feel wonderful because I don't taste or smell like cigarettes, and I don't feel like shit because I am not smoking. So your statement that you're going to build off of, it's the day and I feel blank because blank. So you set that up, and before you go to bed at night, you say this to yourself, and you say the same thing every day. Before you go to bed, you say, it's this day, I feel this way because, and you visualize it, and you really put yourself in your future shoes and visualize sitting there and feeling that way. You feel great. You feel you don't smell like smoke, or whatever it is, whatever emotion you want to connect to that thought process. And before you go to bed, you say it right when you wake up in the morning, as if you're someone who drinks coffee and you're having your coffee, or if you're someone who just gets up and has an apple, to really like get yourself flowing, just depending on what your daily routine is. You repeat that to yourself just one time out loud and feel it and play.